Terminator Dark Fate. Let's just dive right in, shall we? So, GoogleTube immediately put my last Terminator vid on the naughty list and demonetized it on upload, and that was with me doing my best self-censorship. So this time, I'm just going to go for it and let it all hang out. And also, as I was rendering the last video, I heard about reshoots and something that could be kind of a cool surprise. Let's go. Briefly to recap, like I said before, huge fan of the Terminator and Terminator 2. In my mind, the actual conclusion to the series was the long-running ride at Universal Studios. It had the original characters played by the actual actors, and it was helmed by James Cameron and followed immediately after the events of the second movie, and concluded Cameron's Terminator series as sort of a 2.5 trilogy. At this point, Cameron seemed to be done with the franchise. Now, from what I've heard, Dark Fate only has one timeline. So there's no alternate timelines, no tangent universes, or alternate dimensions. So all of the Terminator movies after Terminator 2 3D, because they do blow up Skynet, are no longer canon and in fact just don't exist. Basically doing what the last movie in the Halloween series did, which was say every movie after the first one never existed. Well, that is definitely one way to fix a damaged franchise. Just ignore the bad movies and knock them out of canon. Hey, worked for GB16, so why not? Okay, so like I said before, I heard Cameron was back for the latest installment, but not as the director, so I didn't expect much. The trailer met a fair amount of negative reaction, but mostly just seemed kind of meh. Later, when the movie's plot leaked from the first test screening, and then more plot leaks surfaced, and there was some fan backlash. So taking a page from the GB16 playbook, director Tim Miller took to the internet with his interview in Variety to do what appeared to be either preemptive damage control or generate a buzz. Both possibilities could work or be true. Nothing gets people ready to spend money like calling them misogynists. Props for taking a page from the Ms. Marvel playbook and doing it all before the release. My opinion remains that this is bait. He knows the movie isn't going to resonate well with what's left of the fan base, so he's going to use guilt to hopefully deflect failure, guilt some folks into going, and get the blue check mob lighting torches even before the release. Don't worry, you still have the Chinese market. Yes, I am positive T6 is hashtag woke as fuck, but I think there is a strong possibility it could also be marketing. And much like how everybody turned on Brie Larson for saying stupid shit, and we probably won't be seeing a lot of her in the future, this is probably what Miller's fate will also be if T6 doesn't make $1 billion. So I'm pretty sure he's just trying to get a buzz started and cover every base. As like someone else pointed out, nobody really gave a crap about this movie until Miller did the Variety interview and said Justin Bieber was going to trigger misogynists. This was supposedly because online trolls said mean things about that character. Okay, so here's an idea. Make the character appealing instead of saying the audience is stupid for not liking it. Wait, the broad that played Justin Bieber Terminator also played Marriott in Blade Runner 2049? Okay, now I'm just starting to think the director is a belieber. At San Diego Comic-Con, the Terminator Dark Fate panel announced an R rating, and in the middle of sucking their own dicks, Tom Cruise crashed their panel to shill his movie, Maverick. But since both movies are being made by Paramount, this is probably just a marketing gimmick. However, Top Gun 2 actually looks pretty good. So anyway, let me just take a moment to remind everyone, including Tim Miller, that the Terminator franchise has always had a strong female lead. You're not doing anything new or interesting. In the last video, here is where I list about a dozen or so female leads from sci-fi movies that nobody ever had a problem with. So let's talk about what we know so far. So really fast, let's recap the trailer. Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez are driving in an old truck when they get in a scrape with the best idea the art department could come up with. The look of the T-800, the most popular Terminator, and the function of the T-1000. So then Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez get saved by Hillary Clinton. From there, it's just a gag reel of Linda Hamilton shooting stuff, the androgynous Terminator kicking ass, Terminator standards like a semi-truck chase, a Terminator that's a machine under the skin, and CG stunts and explosions. And lastly, a closing shot of Arnie all set to a mumblecore pop song. Some of the CG isn't so great. Some's alright. Linda Hamilton is back, and I really wanted to be excited about this because, like I said before, had a major thing for her since Beauty and the Beast. Shout out to Ron Perlman. Again, what we see here are a lot of new characters and not very much of the old characters. All in all, I get the Force Awakens vibe. New characters with the old characters clumsily shoehorned in to pass the torch in the most ass way possible. So obvious to me, up front is the hashtag woke girl power message, as in all the characters that are good are strong women, and the bad guy is, well, literally a guy. Now let's get into leaks and possible spoilers. So to quickly recap, the plot leaked from a test screening in Terminator 6 opens with Skynet being defeated, like in the end of the ride at Universal. So everyone's partying at a bar in Mexico when a young John Connor is approached by a T-800 Terminator and gets, well, terminated. Young John Connor is blasted approximately 3 times in the chest by, most likely, a digital Arnie. Now this is something we've seen before. Brett Azar, a bodybuilder, has played the young Arnie T-800 in Terminator Genesis by way of them putting a CGI Arnie head over his head. Now here's a pic of him with Jude Colley, who is credited as John Connor, so this seems to ring true. So immediately, Danny Ramos, aka Selena Gomez, is somehow introduced as the new savior of humanity. Now, this is weird to me, as in all the other movies it's always been about John Connor, that he leads the rebellion and that he's the one that needed to be stopped by the AI. Now it's just some rando broad, and this is what really feels like the hashtag woke agenda, as a minority female is the replacement for the white male in importance. Justin Bieber Terminator is a cyborg sent back from the future to protect Selena Gomez, and Mexican Terminator has been sent back to kill Selena Gomez, as the trailer has made more than obvious. In the meantime, Sarah Connor has been fighting and killing Terminators this whole time, since Legion, which is another evil AI that takes over the world after the fall of Skynet. Is it just me, or does every Terminator has an evil AI? Kind of like how every Star Wars has a Death Star. So anyway, Legion takes over where Skynet left off, and it doesn't just send back one Terminator, it sends back a buttload. When Sarah Connor finds out who's been texting her the locations of the other Terminators, it's none other than the Terminator that wasted John Connor for some reason. So Linda Hamilton wants to waste Arnie, and he agrees, but they decide to hold off on that until they deal with Mexican Terminator. So another possible leak has said that the movie also packs a pretty heavy pro-Mexico and pro-immigrant message, as our heroes get in a shootout in Mexico with Border Patrol agents, then our heroes cross over the border illegally, only to land in a detention facility and break out, which according to the leak is the train scene in the trailer. This would also add up with the shot of the truck coming through the wall, and several other shots in the trailer. And where I'm a little confused is that according to the leaks, Mexican Terminator is a Border Patrol agent? If so, I mean, that's a little on the nose. I mean, you might as well put a MAGA hat on the T-800. Okay, you know who'd be a badass Mexican Terminator? Fucking Danny Trejo. And unlike Arnie, he hasn't noticeably aged much in the past 20 years. Now let's get into reshoots. Now I've heard that up to 80% of the movie has been reshot. Now I'm not sure of the number, but reshoots are confirmed and pretty standard after a test screening. From photos posted online, we can see some of the shoots include adding mocap, which is motion capture, of Gabriel Luna's character, and he even tags it hashtag #MocapSuitMonday. Arnie in some practical effects, and a photo that either shows stand-ins, which are people who are very similar to the actors in height and weight and appearance who stand in for the actors during long lighting and camera setups, or possible stunt doubles. So this photo tells me you're either looking at additional stunt work or additional dialogue, which, who knows? Maybe some of the hashtag wokeness is being toned down or amped up. Now here's what could be something interesting. While young actor Jude Colley is credited as playing John Connor, who we learn from leaks gets wasted in the beginning of Woke Fate, it looks like our boy, good old Ed Furlong, is now listed in the cast. So I'm guessing they'll either shoehorn him in and be all like, hey, I was dead, but I'm okay now. Or maybe do the Luke Skywalker Force Awakens and literally have him show up at the very end of the movie as the cliffhanger. James Cameron has brought us crap like Titanic and Avatar. Now think what you will about those movies. They were very popular and they made a shit ton of cash. Cameron seems to know how to entertain the masses, or at least he did. Now I'm curious if he's still got it, especially when he's not the director. So, Terminator Dark Fate. What do you think? You gonna see it? You're not gonna see it? Is it woke? Is it not woke? Is it woke fate? Is it suck fate? Is it faith? Fuck, I got nothing. Is it whatever? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Please share the video if you enjoy the content. And remember, stay awake, stay alert. We are the new counterculture.